welcome to Esny Podcast. City Speak is the new episode. We're describing it as we touch on the hottest topics from the past week in the Big Apple. And this week there's a bunch of stuff to talk about. With us, three talented writers. We have Greg Cambereri, who touches on a lot of stuff, mostly trending topics for ESNY. Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Rob.
Also with us, Christian Winfield, who's a credentialed Knicks writer. There he is waving. Personality and all. How you doing, Christian?
I can't complain. Just hoping that storm that's by you doesn't come up this way.
Oh, it's coming. It's dark clouds. It's terrible. Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And then we got Matt Barbado, the Jets expert for ESNY. Matt, how's it going?
Good, guys. I'm in Illinois, so hopefully the weather you guys got there isn't affecting me over here, but I don't think it will. So
should be windy over there, right?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. So first thing we'll touch on, it was one of the biggest topics this past week. Jeff Hornacek, the New York Knicks, finally. We already knew he signed a 3-year deal a couple days previous, but last week the whole regime was there. Phil Jackson, even Chris Mills, sitting in their little seats like Phil likes to do. And Christian was there. Christian, what kind of vibe did you get from the entire environment, number one? And number two, what do you think about the offense this fall as far as Hornacek's up-tempo offense and the triangle?
Well, in terms of a vibe, I would say it seemed Phil and Steve Mills were more comfortable than anything with the hiring. You know, among Knicks fans, Jeff Hornacek wasn't the name that you would expect, but any name at this point was, and over the summer it was looking like Phil was inching more and more towards Ramis, and then he just pressed stop and kind of reverse tracks. I personally would have liked Frank Vogel, but I think Jeff Hornacek is a really good coach. He's a guy who's played in the NBA. He was an all-star. You know, he's a basketball guy, and it's those types of guys that kind of have a better impact on some of these veteran rosters, like what the Knicks have right now. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good. Well, I totally forgot what the second.
The triangle and the up-tempo offense. How do you see that meshing?
From what they're saying, from what Jeff Hornacek said, he wants to mesh Phoenix, the offense he ran in Phoenix, with the triangle. And from what they were saying, you know, they tried to make a big deal out of the term triangle. It's just a set to run all the different offenses out of. You know, you have a post player, you have two guys on the wings, and you just kind of move the ball. You read and react to the defense, and you want to trust each other. You know, you don't want to have pick and roll every time. But the interesting part is the pick and roll and shooting threes. That was a lot of what Jeff Hornacek ran in Phoenix. And what I'm interested in seeing is what the Knicks do this offseason, because having a good coach is great. Having a system that works is awesome. But if you don't have the players that can carry out the system, it's not going to make much of a difference. The Knicks issue in their backcourt. And it'll be interesting to see how they address that this summer, especially when there's a lot of other teams out there with deeper pockets. Yeah. That'll ultimately be what makes or breaks the Knicks this upcoming season, who they can get in free agency and how quickly everyone can buy into the new system or get used to whatever Hornacek is going to put in play.
Yeah, I mean, it's Phil's time to shine right now. It's for all the naysayers, they have to give him this summer to prove his worth. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. They missed on a lot of free agents last summer. You know, they tried to get LaMarcus, they tried to get Greg Monroe, and they missed on all of them. So this year we're going to see if the Zen Master can really pull some free agents. And Jeff Hornacek too. You know, he's an NBA guy. He was an all-star. He knows what it takes to win. He played for a while. So I'd be interested to see what him, Phil Jackson, and Carmelo can do in the free agency to bring some people over here.
Nice. Next topic up for discussion: Fitzpatrick, Jets. Matt, I know a lot of Jets fans are sick and tired of hearing about it. It's a drama, it's a saga, but at the same time, it's really, really important because Fitzpatrick is a single-season touchdown record holder for the Jets right now. journeyman or not. So, what do you think is going to happen? Look into that crystal ball.
Well, I think one thing's for sure is we're going to be talking about it for a little while longer because I think this is something that's going to extend into training camp. Really, neither side has any leverage. They don't really have a reason to budge, though. The Jets seem content with rolling with Geno Smith or whoever, fans want to insert into the quarterback's role. Bryce Petty has been getting some hype, but that's not going to happen. It's going to be Geno as of right now. And really, they've played it right. They played the market value. They've offered Fitz, if these reports are true, a deal 3 years worth $24 million total, $12 million in the first year, and I've heard $15 million guaranteed. That's a really generous offer for a 33-year-old quarterback who's had a pretty rocky career. I can't believe Fitz hasn't signed it, but also I see Fitz's side of it as well. You see quarterbacks like Sam Bradford, Chase Daniel, Brock Osweiler getting big money for lesser seasons. Brock Osweiler is getting paid, I believe, $38 million by the Houston Texans, guaranteed, for 7 games of work. 7 games of work under a very talented Denver offense. But I mean, that's taking a big risk on a quarterback. So I think Fitzpatrick is seeing this. He's seeing how the market played out. He's realizing, hey, I had a better season than both of these guys. I should be getting paid similar money. But really, I think the Jets are playing this correctly. I don't see any reason to budge. Obviously, this situation wouldn't be as perilous if the Jets had an actual long-term answer at the position, which they seemingly never do. But I think they're hoping Christian Hackenberg becomes that guy by the end of this proposed Fitzpatrick offer. I think by the time training camp comes around, there will be a deal in place. But then again, I also said that this was sort of a formality and that the Jets and Fitzpatrick, it was bound to happen. It made too much sense. I thought in March a deal would be done, and it hasn't been done yet. So I think by training camp, though, something will be inked. The contract will be signed.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the Jets haven't had a guy for so long. Each side is smart. Mikey Mack and Fitz are extremely smart. They know each side needs each other. So it's going to happen. The Jets are playing with fire, though, because I really don't think they could say whatever they want in the media. They don't have faith in Geno. They just don't. I don't think they do. If they did, I think they would have said bye to Fitz a long time ago. Next topic up for debate might be the most popular one, even though it has the least to do about sports. Greg, your guy, Odell Beckham Jr. Memorial Day was at Drake's pool party, and he got pretty comfortable with Khloe Kardashian. I'm an old guy. I thought she was the lesser of the Kardashians, but she actually, Lamar Odom, James Harden, I didn't realize she looked this good. Greg, do you think Beckham is playing with fire here? Should he just move on? Or could you see him doing something that would damage his career?
Somewhere in the world, Tom Coughlin is cringing like no other man. Yeah, this is not good if you're a Giant fan, a Giant teammate. There were reports of players texting and calling Odell to just stay away. The Giants just do not need this type of distraction. Odell's famous enough as it is. And I mean, he's Odell Beckham. Like, what girl can he get? And he's got to go get a Kardashian, one of the worst media disasters that a team could possibly have. Like, I don't like any of this. I don't care how good or bad she looks. Just the name Kardashian associated with the Giants, it's like, no, that just does not sound right.
Hey, it was just a one-day. It was just a one-day thing, right? I mean, one day it's okay. Have there been reports since then? I don't think so, right?
As far as we know, but we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and quite frankly, I don't really want to know too much else either. But if it continues, then into training camp, just what a disaster that would be. It's just got to be some sort of bad omen.
Hey, I'm a Jets fan. I applaud Beckham. He should do it, I think. As a Jets fan, go. OBJ, do your thing.
Would you draft him on your fantasy team though? If he was still with Khloe, I don't know.
That's tough. Madden, he kind of debunked the Madden curse, But
That's true.
Chloe, that's dangerous. I think, yeah, it's dangerous.
That's a different curse.
Yeah, no, it's a different curse. Lamar Odom, James Harden. I think that was the. Was there any more with Chloe? I think those are the only two that I could think of.
Well, I think Kim dated Reggie Bush, who
Yeah.
his career never really took off to begin with, and then Chris Humphries, who is terrible. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. Those Kardashians, they take these athletes and kind of chew them up and spit them out. So I don't know. If I got a choice between Odell Beckham Jr. and Antonio Brown in my fantasy league, I'm taking AB all day. If Chloe's sticking around, so I don't know. I'm not playing with fire there.
In a Kardashian fantasy league, I'd take Chloe last, I think. But that's a fantasy league that's not going to happen, I don't think. All right, last topic now, and it's it's world related. Muhammad Ali. Any final thoughts, Christian? Do you have anything to final thoughts about the man? He did more than just change sports. He, like Joe Namath and him, in my mind, were the two that really meshed society and sports together. Any last thoughts that you guys might have about Muhammad or the sport of boxing in general?
Well, I'm pretty sure he was before my time. He actually was. I never really, but the stories are out there. Everything just from how he was in the ring, outside the ring. He was a pioneer, and it's rare that you see those types of guys, those types of athletes now. At least they barely want to stand up for Flint, Michigan, and here he was standing up for an entire culture, it seemed. So the sports world, the world in general, not just the sports world, the world in general lost an incredibly brave person, and we're gonna miss him.
Right. Greg, Matt?
I mean, you could argue he's the first athlete who you could say had as much, if not more, of an impact outside of his sport than he did in his sport. So obviously, Muhammad, I never saw Ali fight. Unfortunately, you only hear the stories. Yeah. But I mean, he is an icon. There's plenty of really, really good stories that you can read about him too. It's just one of the there'll never be anybody else like him. And I laugh because I find it funny how, imagine Muhammad Ali now when people are getting, all upset over how Cam Newton celebrates after touchdowns, in the way Muhammad Ali was just a trash talker and just a celebrator, and he seemed like he just loved every minute of what he was doing. If people are hating Cam Newton for everything he does, imagine Ali in this time. That would be really, really hysterical to see.
Yeah.
Greg, final thoughts?
Ali transcended culture, transcended society. Like we said, the stories are out there. I saw a video yesterday. It was from him in 1981. He talked to suicidal men jumping off a ledge, telling him, "Hey, I'm your brother." If that doesn't speak volumes about Ali's personality, then I'm not really quite sure what does. And also, when was boxing ever more popular a sport than when Ali was doing what he did so well? The sport is not nearly as popular today as it was when he was in the ring, at least not to my knowledge. Obviously, I wasn't around for his day either. But like you guys said, the stories are out there, the evidence is out there, and the impact that he made on the boxing world and the world itself is something that's going to be hard to be duplicated by any athlete ever again.
If you want to treat the back and forths with him and Howard Cosell, was one of the most classic audios of all time. I mean, they respected each other so much to a point where Cosell didn't mind that Ali made fun of his toupee, wearing a toupee on live TV. Just didn't care. And those two, the love they had for each other was one of the best relationships we'll ever see in sports, ever. So yeah, hey, good episode, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. We'll all miss Ali, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
See you later.
Take care.